Hey, good afternoon. Josh Foster here with Exit Real Estate, and today we are live at 2412 New Moon in South Lake Charles. This is a 4-bed, 3-bath. It's totally remodeled, and I'm joined here today by Alan Joyner at Louisiana Mortgage. And Alan, you've been in the business of lending quite some time now. How long have you been in the business?
Well, 15 years, and in January I'll be with Louisiana Mortgage for 14 years.
And there's probably not a whole lot of stuff you just haven't seen over the years.
You'd be amazed.
Yeah.
You really would.
Well, I've asked Alan to join us today and kind of talk about some things first-time home buyers need to know. So, Alan, what was some great advice, if you could sum up some great advice that you could give for a first-time home buyer?
Well, if you're a first-time home buyer, the first thing I would say is get pre-approved before you speak to a realtor, so the realtor knows exactly what he's dealing with, and that way when you apply for a mortgage, there may be something hidden under credit that you don't know about. Mm-hmm. So we can start fixing it now as opposed to when you're under contract.
Yeah.
And I found that, when you have a loan officer, an experienced loan officer, that is a very valuable asset to the mortgage process. But also, hand in hand is an experienced realtor.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress that. I think a good realtor is worth their weight in gold because they know how to negotiate for the buyers. You can be really good at your job, but you've never done this before.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be nervous, and you're going to make those first-time home buyer mistakes. And never be afraid to ask a question, because I would, ask people apologize all the time, saying I'm sorry for asking questions. I said, no, hey, we're not buying a happy meal here.
That's right.
This is a 30-year commitment.
Yeah. Big investment.
It's a big investment.
Largest investment.
That's right, man. And so I can't stress to that. Take your time, give your loan officer all the good information, set reasonable expectations for the realtor, and when a good realtor and a good mortgage broker work hand in hand, that's what you need.
It's a smooth process. So, Alan, what are some common things that you see most with first-time home buyers? I get a lot of questions about credit score. Talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about how's your credit score made up? What is this thing called a FICO score? What is that? How does a lender for a home loan look at credit score?
Well, one of the big misconceptions people have about credit scores is they'll go to an online site and get like a Credit Karma or somebody like that and get their score.
Okay.
And that is that particular credit bureau's credit score. The mortgage industry scores credit totally different. They look at types of credit, length of credit, credit history. And so when you come to your mortgage broker, a lot of times you're going to see, hey, well, I went so-and-so and my score was here. But we judge it totally different, and it's usually a lot more strict.
Okay.
And credit is very, very finicky. I joke about it at the office that the longer I'm in this, the less I know it seems like sometimes, because you'll have somebody have one little mistake and it'll devastate their credit. But once you get pre-approved for a mortgage, I cannot stress to you enough, cannot stress to the consumer enough, don't do anything.
Absolutely.
And over the years, I've developed do's and don'ts.
Okay. Can you go over some of that with us?
And I will send you a letter that says, please don't buy a car. Please do not buy furniture. Please don't apply for anything. Don't close something out and start something new, because you might be just right there getting pre-approved. And even though the car note's the same, it's a new account from your credit bureau, which most times drops that credit score right away. And you got to be very careful about that.
And one thing, believe it or not, it's hard to believe we're almost to the holiday season again. What I've noticed in the past, we've had this happen to where, a buyer is maybe either under contract on a home or pre-approved, and then, they go to JCPenney's and they offer, get 10% off when you open a $50 credit card with us. And I mean, does that hurt the credit? Does that hurt the process?
All the time. What I try to tell people is, I understand you really want to buy your children, your spouse, your significant other something for Christmas. But what's better is something from JCPenney's or a new home.
That's right.
And Josh, I joke about this a lot, but you have totally sane people that go to buy a house, they have their life put together, they do everything, they buy a home, and all of a sudden they get antsy, and they get those first-time home buyer jitters, and they do things that they normally wouldn't do. And that's where an experienced team comes in and says, hey, I'm with you. I was a first-time home buyer once. I understand.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. You can buy that sweater, buy that suit a little bit later on. Let's keep it on process. Let's get it finished.
What is credit score. Tell me, I believe there's what, 3 credit bureaus
Well,
that you
first
first.
3 of the most popular. There are actually there are about 70 different companies out there that score credit. But you gave me 3 most popular ones: your Equifax, TransUnion, and because we're live, I just been totally blank. Experian. And we pull all 3 bureaus,
Okay.
and we will go by the middle score.
Okay, so you don't go by just the highest score.
We don't go by the highest, and we don't go by the lowest.
Okay.
And you'll be amazed at how sometimes the 3 bureaus are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
You could have one that'll be a 700, one will be a 680, one will be down here to 600, because sometimes some accounts only report to one company because it costs money for them to report it. So, we could have to where, say, Pioneer Credit or something, they only report to one bureau.
Okay.
So that would affect just that one they report to.
So you take the middle school.
Right, we take the middle
Okay.
school.
Common thing, and it just seems like this happens to us a lot. Somebody may have bought a car.
Mm-hmm.
I see this a lot with cars or vehicles. Someone may have bought a vehicle, 3 months ago. That might be the only note they have, and they were ready for a new home. What are some things that you can just tell if you're in the market for a new home? Look out for these things because you don't want it to have a negative impact on your credit. What are some things that help them before they make that home purchase?
Well, a lot of times people will come in and say, "Well, I just bought a car. That was super easy. Let's buy a house." Well, that's a horse of a different color. I mean, we're talking 2 totally separate transactions, and the car is a lot easier. I mean, you can go in one day and walk out, drive out with a new car. Mortgage process, unless you pay in cash, it's not going to happen like that. Well, but what I tell people is, once you buy your first car, your credit score is most of the time just going to drop because it's a new account. So make some payments, usually 6 or 7 payments. So wait 6 or 7 months, and then buy the house. Because one thing that affects credit is they're going to judge how many new accounts you have all of a sudden. So and that's what we talk about in reverse. I'm buying a house. Well, wow, I got pre-approved to buy a house. When you buy a car, I've been looking at that 4-wheeler for a while. Well, I got to have something to pull the 4-wheeler wrong. You buy a trailer, and bam, 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 you go from a 680 to a 560. And guess what? You have a nice truck, a nice car, a nice trailer, a nice ATV, but you don't have a home.
So if you're saying if someone's in the market for a new home and maybe thinking about a new car, it's probably best to maybe hold off on the new car till you get the new home, because it is so much easier to get in a new vehicle than it is a home. Because I guess the way the vehicle companies are looking at it is, a home mortgage is 30 years, a vehicle loan is 72 months.
Right,
So,
that's right.
big difference.
And buy the house first and then wait, because a lot of times people they've been living with the parents, or they've been living rent free on family property, or paying a small amount in rent, which now rent's going up, but in the past, and also you get that big house note. That's the lenders look at payment shock, and that's a real thing. You're used to, I'm only used to paying either nothing or pay $500 or $600. When you buy that nice house for $1,500 a month payment, well, you got to adjust a little bit. And I'm not saying don't enjoy your life, and I would never tell somebody to get buried in debt. But I'm saying once you buy the house, take a deep breath, wait a little while, make some payments, get settled in, and then see what you're opting. See how you're adjusting to that new life.
Perfect. One big thing everybody knows: most home mortgages require down payments. I know last week I had a gentleman on, and he had mentioned about some rural development program, 100% financing. But can you talk to us a little bit about down payments, down payment assistance? How are the ways to keep more money in the buyer's pocket without having to just drain savings to get into a new home? What's some options we have?
Well, you're right with the rural development and the VA; those are 100% financing, but they're also very specific. They're income and property, location specific. Well, your typical loan for around here is your FHA loan, which will require 3.5% down payment. Now, most lenders stop; they go to a 640. That's as low as they can go at 3.5% down payment.
Okay.
Now, we're a little different. We can go down to a 580.
Okay.
And usually with a letter of explanation, why is score not where it needs to be? We can go 3.5%. But something that's a little unique to us is we can go below a 580 with 10% down, Because the lender looks at it, we've got skin in the game now. You're putting 10% down on the house, you're not going to walk away from that house. Okay?
And just to be clear, the 10% down is only for the people who may have had lower credit score.
That's right.
You know, below 580.
Below a 580, correct. And something that I'm very excited to talk about that is going live in our area right now, and that is, a lot of people are very familiar with the MCC, the Mortgage Credit Certificate, and that is a tax rebate on the interest you pay on your home. Well, that's a very important program. But also, brand new now, if you qualify for the MCC program, you also qualify for the Calcasieu Parish Trust Authority's down payment assistance, an actual down payment. And as long as you fit the income guidelines, and it depends on the family and the parish and everything, you have to call Louisiana Mortgage and find that out. And then we get up to 4% to go towards your 3.5% down payment plus some closing costs.
Wow.
And it's been very, very popular in Baton Rouge and Orleans Parish. It's just not coming over here. I'm very excited because it's going to help a lot of folks out. A lot of people appreciate that tax credit.
Absolutely.
They really like that down payment.
Well,
assistance.
yeah, because they're not having, you're not having to come up with so much out of pocket to get into a home. So, how can someone learn more? Can they call you? Is there a website they can visit that's going to have a link to this information to find out if they qualify for this?
Well, in full disclosure, you can go to the Calcasieu Parish Trust Authority's website, and that will have that information. But I would like to say call me.
Sure.
And I can go over it with you. I'm very familiar with the program. It is. I'm very excited because we've been fighting for a long time to allow mortgage brokers access to this because we're the more flexible lender than a traditional bank. So our clients genuinely need that help, and now we can offer it to them. And it's just not going live. I'm very excited about it.
Perfect. And I know you don't want to get in and discuss specific interest rates because I think it all varies from day to day, minute to minute. But overall, interest rates on home mortgages are still very low. It's still very affordable for someone to get into it.
Absolutely. And you're right. We are governed. I can't quote an actual interest rate without going into APR and all of our terms and everything like that. But they are still historically low. And I like to tell some of the people in my office or some of my clients when I quote a rate, I said, hey, when I bought my house, 7 years ago, I got a 5% rate and I danced a jig for it. I was thrilled,
Yeah.
And so, let's keep things in perspective. These are historically low interest rates. Talk to your parents about what they were when they were buying houses in the early 80s. And heck, even before the big refi boom in 2000, rates were in the 5s and 6s.
Yeah. So now we're real low compared to where it has been in the past.
That's exactly right.
So, just to kind of recap, and I appreciate you coming in, you have more programs for people who have a lower credit score, maybe it's taking a hit on their credit, that maybe you can do some things that other lenders can't do. So if they're out there thinking about a home mortgage and maybe have been denied in other places or turned down, I think you're saying it's still worth a shot to give you a call, see what you can do. Right?
It is, and that's one of Louisiana Mortgage has a few strengths. One is a variety of programs that I guarantee no other mortgage broker has in our area. That is a fact. You can do so many more different things. But also, what's very unique about our company is the core of our company has been with Louisiana Mortgage for a minimum of 10 years, and that is just very rare in the mortgage industry. So either we're really good at what we know, or we need medication. It's something, But we enjoy what we do. We enjoy our clients. We put those long-term relationships with our lenders, plus our clients and our referral sources. But we can do the challenging credit. But I would also say we're as competitive as anybody on your 640 and above. We have very good rates, and we are very, very competitive with anybody. And one of the things that stands out with us, as opposed to a traditional bank, is we're faster. Okay. And you can talk to us anytime. How many times have you called somebody, myself or somebody at Louisiana Mortgage after 5 o'clock?
All the time.
On a Saturday,
And when you're in a contract process, you need
that's right. We try not to during the Saints games or LSU games, but
other
than that, other than that, we try very hard to be accessible at all times.
Sure. Well, Alan, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you
Absolutely.
for taking a moment to come explain to us some ins and outs, and also bringing to us a new program. One more time, what's the name of that program you were mentioning?
It's the Down Payment Assistance Program offered by the Calcasieu Parish Trust Authority. And their website has the information, but also you can call me at Louisiana Mortgage at 312-1326, and we can go over the details. It's new, we're excited about it, and I think it's going to help a lot of folks out, Josh.
Perfect. Well, I'm Josh Foster with Exit Real Estate. I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like more information on this home here at 2412 New Moon, feel free to check out my website at swlahomezone.com. Or if you'd like to schedule a showing, or if you have any questions about anything you've seen today, you can contact me directly at 337-884-4843. We want to thank you again for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.